that's good. Sun is up, the drinks are hot, and now it's time for our first cup. Today, Bystander. So, I saw a car on the beach this morning, just sitting out there in the sand in the middle of Alamitos Beach. Uh, if you're wondering if this is a common occurrence, no, it is not. I've seen a lot of stuff out there, but haven't ever seen that, and especially not when it's raining. When it's raining, things tend to be pretty chill, right? But there was that car just sitting there. Okay, so I decided to walk up to it and see what I can see. Get close to it, the driver's side window tinted really dark, can't see in, so I kind of move around to the front of the car, look in through the windshield. Looking in there, I kind of vaguely see a human-like figure, but there's rain, whatever, so I wave. Nothing. I wave and, hey, are you okay? Do you need help? One of those things. I see this kind of wizened hand kind of come up and make this sort of motion. And I repeat, are you okay? Hand just keeps making the motion. I'm like, all right, guess we're going around to the side. Go around to the side, kind of stare into that darkly tinted driver's side window. Don't know what the hell's going to come out of it. I'm hoping that it's the old hand means that it's not going to be a big deal. And all of a sudden I hear this like Southern style, like revival, like Baptist sermon blaring from the inside, and the window starts rolling down, and the sermon's still blaring. And I see this older black woman sitting there, and she fumbles with the console, and the sermon goes silent. I say, "Hey, are you okay? How are you doing?" And, I'm out here talking to God. All right, cool. She asks me my name. I tell her. She doesn't respond with her name. She tells me that she was one of the pallbearers at Rick James's funeral. I can check the video. I haven't checked the video yet. She also says that James like fell off the path because of P Diddy. Got back on it though because he got right with God, and that's what matters. All right, cool. And then she says, "I'm stuck." I look down at her wheels, and sure enough, like there's a bunch of sand behind the front wheel. Looks like she's kind of dug herself into a rut. I'm like, all right, well, let's see if we can get you out of here. I tell her to put it into reverse, and she tells me about a secret keyhole next to the gear shift. Cool. Yeah, just put it in reverse and give it a little bit of gas, and we'll see what we can do. Puts it in reverse, gives it a little bit of gas. She comes out a little bit, but looks like she needs a push. So I go to the front of the car and say, all right, hey, give it a little bit. Push it, and we get her out, and now she's on flat sand. All right, great. Making progress, right? I go back around to the side of the car to see if I can help guide her out. And at this point, two women kind of start approaching me in this car, and they're like, "Hey, do you need help pushing her?" I'm like, "No, I think we got it. I'm just gonna see if we can get her out." And so I spent a couple of minutes like helping her maneuver around the ruts in the sand that she probably made. And then I hear whoop whoop, and oh look, it's the cops. Cool. I tell the cops what's going on, and they say, "Okay, cool." And they look like they're going to be able to handle it, and I'm like, "Great." And so uh, wave at the lady. Still don't know her name. Start walking away, and the two women who uh, offered to help earlier wave me over. So I go over. Hmm. We introduce ourselves, and you know, I thank them for offering to come over and help. And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. Like, thank you. We've been out here watching this woman for an hour. We live right over there. There's all these kind of condos and these tall buildings facing out over towards the ocean in that part of the beach. It's like we live right over there, and we saw this woman from our balcony a while ago, and we've been watching things for like over an hour, and you're the first person to help. There's been all these people jogging by or like on their bikes, but you're the first person to go down and try and help." Hmm. there's a point in my life earlier on where I would have heard something like that and been really bummed out about it, been really sad or whatever, used it as some sort of like a way to kind of judge the rest of humanity, whether explicitly or just kind of silently to myself. And you've probably been in that situation too, right? Let's be real, we all have. But I'm not someone who gets sad in these situations anymore. I'm not someone who gets like angry, or I don't really moralize it. I don't moralize other people in those situations, because it turns out the very same thing that keeps people from acting can actually be used to help them act, right? It's called social proof. I'm going to put on my psych professor hat here for a second. Social proof is essentially this idea that when people are faced with ambiguous or novel situations, we look to others to try and figure out what to do, right? Um, one thing that can happen is like a bystander effect, right? People see something novel, or they see something where they're not quite sure what to do, and they just see other people not doing anything, and so they're like, okay, we're not going to do anything either, because like nobody's doing anything. It's like we're proving to others that nothing should be done. That's kind of like the bad ending, right? But bystander effect, that kind of no one does anything, it's not something that's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, because remember, social proof is about we see other people doing things or not doing things, makes us more likely to do things or not do things. So guess what? If someone does something in a novel situation, or someone does something in an ambiguous situation, it increases the likelihood that other people are going to do something too. Just like those two women, right? Who they said they'd been out there for an hour, and like they said nobody else had done anything. They hadn't done anything either, but as soon as they saw me go down there, that's when they decided to act, right? That's when they decided to act. They saw someone else do something. Now, some of you might be listening to this or seeing this and thinking, "Oh, Ian, well, we're not like you. We're not tall. We're not deep voiced. We don't look like you. We don't have those things in common with you." You know, fair point. You might not. You might not have any of those things in common with me. Um, but you do have one very important thing in common with me. And that's that when you are faced with a situation like that, you can choose to act, right? You can choose. You have that choice. I have that choice. Everyone has that choice. And I'm not saying you have to make it all the time. I just want to make you aware of it, right? Because in my experience, when I act, when people I know choose to act, usually it makes the world a little bit of a better place, right? And other people have told me that they have been surprised to find out that it works the same way for them, even if they look nothing like me. All it takes, all it takes to get that beautiful, surprising result, all it takes is that I have to choose and you have to choose to not be a bystander. Now, remember that no matter what you've heard or what I've said, death comes for us all, and a closed mouth never gets fed. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Come on. She's got it.
She's good.
Is she honking it?
Yep.
Oh, celebratory.
She honked in like thankfulness.
She's about to hit the